Welcome to the Chain Out podcast with your hosts, Jeremy and Daryl.
Hey everybody, Jeremy and Daryl here, your favorite Chain Out co-hosts for season 3, episode 117. How's it going out there? Looks like the chat is filling up. Hey Daryl?
No, I'm not going to just say it. No, it's good. Yeah, everybody is in the chat, all the usuals. We've got Doc Zen, Sonia, we've got Mike Biette, we've got Dina, we've got Mark.
The crowd's all here.
All the usual suspects. They're all supporting us as usual. And I'm happy to be here as well, Jeremy.
That's good. I'm glad you're happy to be here, because when you're not happy to be here, we got a problem.
Well, there you go.
So we're not going to get to that, right?
No.
You're going to be good. All right. Okay, cool. Well, I've heard that one of the easiest ways to do small talk, and maybe what you're supposed to avoid, is saying, how about that weather? But come on.
Yeah.
In Edmonton right now, how about that weather?
Yeah. I don't even think we had a full spring. That was like a midwinter. A midwinter's break. And then it certainly came back with force.
Yeah, like it was. People will say that, though. We've talked about the fall spring when you're like, oh, is it spring yet?
Yeah.
And even my neighbors thought it was almost that way because they had to chip the ice to get the water to go down the drain and everything.
Yeah.
And then over the last 24, 30 hours,
Yeah.
what have we got? Like a foot of snow?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Insane.
Yeah, it's just been, and it hasn't been, well, I mean, it's come in waves, but every time I look out the window, it was kind of just snowing. It was never a point where it wasn't snowing. It was either light or it was coming down heavy, but it was continual snow for, like you said, like 30 hours.
Well, and there was a point there last night where the wind's blowing and you pick up the snow to throw it off the driveway and it just blows back in your face.
Exactly.
So it's like, I guess, we got a really nice little break and then we got punished for it. What is it? In like a lamb, out like a lion, or...
Yeah, that's definitely a saying.
Yeah, I think maybe what it was that Punxsutawney Phil, or there
is a Canadian one,
the
isn't
Canadian guy. He's out in Ontario. Is it someone Billy? Barnyard Billy? Billy Baldwin? I don't know who it is. It's someone like that. But anyways, I think we've got the
Toronto
extra.
Ted? No, I don't know.
So with all of that to be said, I thought that we were going to be all set this weekend because out here in Edmonton, we don't really do an ice bowl per se, but Tim Plamondon and the former president of Edmonton.
It used to be an ice bowl.
Started an ice bowl and then swapped it out to do it a little differently, and it's a tundra toss with a welcome day.
Yeah.
And normally, we've had all types of weather for it. We've had really reasonable warm weather where we're getting lots of sun. We've had it where the morning, we talked about this, where the morning was beautiful. The afternoon was a blizzard, and now we've got all of this deep snow. Wyerton Willie. No, it's not Waterton. It's Wyerton.
It is Wyerton?
It is, yeah.
Wyerton Willie from Kevin.
Yeah, that's who it is.
There you go.
So, but with that, yeah, we've got crazy weather coming in for Tundra Toss this weekend. And I had talked to Mark Thompson, Brock Cicchetti, the current president, and there was another group of people. Shochetti.
There's a throwback. Yeah.
And they went out and they were working so hard to get the tee pads out of the ice and the snow, and they were chipping it, blisters on hands, and that cleared every single tee pad. And now we're going to have a foot of snow on top of it.
Yeah, but the good thing is all the ice is taken away now. So all they got to do is go out there with a leaf blower, snow blower, snow shovel. At least be back onto tee pads again. Not trying to find your footing on ice.
Yeah, it reminds me of a thing one of my good friends, Craig Sheether, said. That's a great idea. Just get out there and do it yourself there.
Exactly.
So, but no, with that, I think this whole winter, I've been out for Winter League, and I've been throwing discs out there, keep an eye on them, watching them slot into the snow, finding them without fail, usually with a little bit of help. But this weekend, I'm going to break down and do it.
No.
I'm going to do it.
Are you?
I want to know if the chat would. If there's a foot of fresh snow and you're going into a tournament, a 2-round, 1-day tournament on the weekend, are you putting ribbons on? Because it's going to be the first time ribbons have touched my disc this year.
Who was it that we were speaking to that said, no, absolutely not, ribbons are... It was somebody a couple of weeks ago we were talking about, do you ribbon up? And they said, no, absolutely not. Ribbons ruin the flight of the disc.
There was someone who actually could play well enough that would notice that the ribbons ruin the flight.
Sonia had mentioned that she was going out and picking up ribbons for the weekend as well.
Yes, actually, Sonia and I are both playing, and we are located in the same town, so we're going to carpool. That's our plan there.
Nice. Makes sense.
That's right.
That's what we like to hear.
So we're going to head out there and save on some gas and some pollution. Is that part of our podcast motto?
Whatever's good for the environment, I'm all on board with.
There you go. Right now, though, there's only 37 when I checked of 80 spots filled, and I know that a lot of people kind of wait till the last minute to see the weather. Come on, get out there.
I mean,
be brave.
It's in the name.
It's the Tundra Toss.
Yeah. What are you waiting for? You're waiting for it to warm up and be a nice day, or then it wouldn't be called Tundra Toss.
It'd be called the Beach Blast, or this is putting you on the spot. What would you say? I call it the Beach Blast. I just made that up. What's your thing?
I'd call it the yeah.
Also, though, beyond the snow and that, come on out, check it out. The trail house that is out at Rundle Park is now also kind of
the Hot Hooser.
The what?
The Hot Hooser.
Yeah, the Hot Hooser.
Is that a thing? I don't know.
I love that you just out of the blue, right in the middle.
You could hear the cogs churning, right? All that time I was thinking of something.
I'm thinking what's going to happen is we're going to get about halfway through the episode. We're going to be talking to the guest, and you're just going to shout it out. I got it. The
warm weather. What are you talking about?
The Pleasant Park. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, come on out. There's still lots of space. Be a brave soul. Fight the snow with us. Throw some ribbons on your discs. And yeah, join us at the Welcome Day as well, where you can officially get your hands on your tag for the year, right? Your club tag?
Yeah, there's lots of things. You can get your tag for EDGA. Pay your membership, sign up, sign all the waivers and things like that. Also, as part of the Players Pack, you're going to get some sweet Players Packs.
Ooh, what do we got?
So you're going to be getting a toque, apparently, for the warm weather.
Yeah.
You're going to be, and I already have one of these, courtesy of my Trash Panda Secret Santa person. Yeah. But you're going to be getting a USB hand warmer, which is awesome.
Is it?
I know we use them.
So what? You charge your phone with it? Is that why it's got a USB?
You can.
You can charge your phone?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a USB power bank hand warmer. So you charge it up in your car, your vehicle, the day before, whatever. You turn it on, and I used it through the fall league when it got cold there towards the end. It kept my hand warm the whole round. But yeah, it also has a USB out, so you can use it as a power bank to charge your phone as well. So it's amazing.
So just a question though, you're sure this is all safe and stuff?
Absolutely.
Because I've been told before is like, when I'm on an airplane, which I've been doing a bit of flying, as you know, they say if your phone starts to overheat or get hot, there's a problem, and that has got a USB and battery in it. So this is an intentional.
It's an intention. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it could be a side effect, and they just went with it.
These were all actual USB chargers that seem to heat up when you turn them on.
Exactly. If life gives you overheating power banks,
turn them into the Hot Hooser.
Yeah, turn them into the Hot Hooser.
But so that's what's going on with us this weekend. But also too, as you've been doing, is I've been you're really committing a lot of your time to disc golf beyond just the podcast. You're on the board, you're on another board, you're doing all of this, and you're running Putting League. How's Putting League been?
Co-running Putting League. Give
yes.
Mark Thompson some credit as well.
Credit to you, Mark. We see you in the chat.
Yeah. It's been going good. Third, we've done 3 weeks. We normally run it on a Thursday. This week, when we went to book the schedule, this Thursday was actually pre-booked.
Coming up tomorrow, I
coming
guess,
up tomorrow, Thursday, the 19th of February. It was already pre-booked. So there will be no Putting League tomorrow, but we've done 3 weeks so far. Had a good turnout. Had some drop-ins and all things like that. Extra people showing up is always good.
Yeah.
We've done 3 fun putts at the end of the night as well. It's amazing that when we booked the place for 2 hours to get the whole Putting League done, how quickly and organized people are. And we get it done in around about an hour.
Okay.
So if people want to come out, there's plenty of time. And then for the second hour, we kind of make some games, or, there's people that bring a tech disc out there and throwing it into the net. So there's that going on. We have a little mini basket with some minis to try and putt. We set up a fun putt. Last week, I took 2 tripods, put a bar. We had a hula hoop.
Okay.
And we had to try and make a putt through that. We've done different things.
Was your Olympic ring, hey?
It was the Olympic ring
You
for
did
winter.
see. Oh, speaking of that, did you see? There's been a lot of. I want to bring that up. This is on the fly for you.
Okay.
There's Trent Michaud out of Ontario,
Yeah.
who's a professional or Olympic ice skater. He's a pair skater,
Yeah.
and he's also a disc golfer. So he's been talking about disc golf
Right,
and that,
okay.
and there's been a lot of talk about him, especially the Ontario group.
Right.
Really knows him, and he is like super duper passionate about disc golf. He put up a video
Yeah.
of him throwing through the Olympic rings
Oh, really?
at the Olympics in Milano and
Right.
Cortina.
Sure.
Yeah. But it's
Awesome.
cool. Yeah, no, that's awesome. So
Yeah.
he's been doing his part to not only represent Canada on the ice surface, but also to shout out disc golf whenever he can. I think even
There
in
you
his
go.
bio,
Yeah.
it says other hobbies or something. Disc golf is like the only thing that's there or
Yeah.
something like
Well,
that.
there you go.
So that's pretty cool. So congrats to him. We should always make sure to shout out people represented on the stage there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anybody that talks up disc golf outside of disc golf is always a win, right?
But anyways, so you said with all of that came from you throwing through a ring. So that was a cool
Yeah.
shot. You guys did a putting league.
Yeah, we do a fun putt every night. Or yeah. So yeah, it's good turnout. Got some video that I think will be posted sometime soon when it gets over to the communication person.
Nice. And no more injuries. Nobody's getting a eye poked out or getting a welt on the head or anything from the putts walking through. Not our players, of course.
Oh.
The random people that happen to be in the.
Well, I think
in the facility?
I finally got it sorted that trying to eliminate people. I think that now we're into the-
Eliminate people, are
Well,
you?
now that we've got to the third week of it, I think people realize that come 8 o'clock on a Wednesday or Thursday, that area is going to be the disc golf area, and I've set up signs now, and I keep bringing the barriers in closer and closer and closer to make it harder for people to walk through. But I think they're finally getting it now that for their own safety,
Yes.
to walk on the other side of the net. Don't try and cut up the outside of the track where they normally would.
See, they don't realize that not everyone putts with those super soft Fireflies from Nationals last year. Some of these discs are pretty hard.
One fun story. Somebody who isn't, is kind of new to the sport, didn't realize he had to bring 5 discs, but he went to Gander when Gander was still around.
Okay.
Bought a putter from the putting bin, and really liked it, but wanted to know, and he kind of didn't buy any more of them because he thought that it might be a bit of a cheat if somebody showed up with 5 floppy discs, and they were elevation discs. And it happened to be the week that he showed up, or he had this disc, was the week that Wally never showed up.
Oh.
So I said, no, it's a legal putter. You can putt with whatever you want. I'm like, wait until Wally's here, because that's all he putts with. He's sponsored by Elevation.
Yeah.
So Wally showed up last week, and we were talking to him, and I said, yeah, talk to him. And he's like, yeah, this is the only putter that I got, this Binks. And I said, well, that's not a putter. That's like an 8-speed. And he's like, when I got it from Gander, it was in the putting drawer.
Someone put it in
I'm
the
like,
wrong
somebody
spot.
moved it. That's not a putter. And he's like, oh, I wonder why it had a bit of a sharper rim.
That's funny.
So he putts with the Binks.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's kind of a good catch up there of what's going around locally. But what's going on tonight on the podcast?
Well, tonight we're going to be chatting with Canadian Tour Director for the NADGT, Kevin King.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's good. National Amateur
Yeah.
Disc Golf Tour, NADGT.
Kevin's been growing the NADGT. That's been growing every year and have a lot of tournaments lined up in Canada. We'll get to that in about 15 minutes.
Yeah. Well, why don't we do our tournament review section that we like to touch on? I looked. Last Saturday was Valentine's Day. Did you know that? Did you spend it with your sweetheart?
No.
No.
Oh, I did. I spent it on my own.
There you go. The person you love the most, hey?
There you go.
Yeah, and I've got my significant other was out of town, so you could have played disc golf, but you really couldn't in Canada. There weren't any tournaments going on, but there was one tournament in all of Canada.
Wow.
All last weekend, one tournament, and it was an ice bowl.
Okay.
And it was happening out on St. Joseph Island. No, not St. Joseph Island. Yes, it is. St. Joseph Island, and it's St. Joseph Island Disc Golf Club. And it was held at Mountain View Centennial Grounds. So one of those is the club, one of those is the course. But we talked about it before in the summer. Out in Sault Ste. Marie, there's an island that's right close by there.
This is too early, Jeremy. You're going to save this till later on.
It's not a full interview. I think we're okay.
Okay.
But yeah, there's an island, and it's just outside of Sault Ste. Marie. It's a bit of a trek to get out there, but they've got a course there. They've got a great club that supports them. So I went and I figured we're only doing one tournament review this week, so I got a bunch of information.
Go for it.
So I reached out to Corey Murdoch, who is the tournament director and a big person of the club there, helping them out. And what they did is they did 2 rounds. It's a 12-hole course, so they did 1 round of doubles. Play the 12 holes twice for that. That considered 1 round, so 24 holes.
Yeah, I can do the math.
I'm just making sure I can too. I'm looking at my math. I should actually work the math out in the outline, not just put the numbers.
Right.
And then the second round, they went back and they did it all over again. 2 rounds of 12 holes, which was how many again?
24.
That's right. And this time it was singles is how they did it. Of course, it's an ice bowl. It's a food bank fundraiser.
Yeah.
And they had some cool things. They had mulligans. Of course, you could donate and buy mulligans, but they had something called surprise advantages.
Okay.
So I thought this was kind of, this is why I like looking at these tournaments and reviewing them, because you find new things that people are doing.
You do like, I don't want to say quirky, but you do like these oddball. No, I don't know what the right word is, but you like the ones that are just not the normal
maybe gimmicky a bit, but not in a bad way, like in a positive way, like it's something different.
Unusual formats.
Yeah. Especially when it's not a sanctioned event. We have enough sanctioned things and you play by the rules.
Yeah.
When you're not, have some fun.
There you go.
So they have these surprise advantages, and what you could get is like more mulligans. You could have certain ones that would take strokes off your score.
Right.
And there were even some instant aces in there.
Oh,
so you pull it out, it was like, yeah, this is a par 4. Instant ace.
That's crazy.
So you might not get many of those, but
albatross.
There was one person out there who didn't need an instant ace. And it's a person that we know, we've talked to, we've chatted with, big in the disc golf world in Canada, helping out on all levels, from provincial to national. And that's Chris O'Zollins. He happened to put an ace down at this event. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Congratulations, Chris.
That's it. Good job, Oz. And they also told us that the weather was pretty decent. 24 people turned up, but they still raised $300 and 75 pounds of donations to the food bank. So that's a good little thing.
Yeah.
And another gimmicky kind of fun thing they did.
Yeah.
They had a CTG, not a CTP.
CTP.
Not CTP. CTG.
CTP, closest to going home.
It was closest to the gnome.
Oh, okay.
So what they did, remember when we went to Newcastle and there were gnomes everywhere? Tanya and Chris have gnomes all over the place. Hidden if you find them. Yeah. Well, what Corey did, she's got some gnomes and put them out on the course in places where you don't want to go. That
kind of reminds me of the Star Wars, the Jedi one, where they were hidden.
The Yoda or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, no, it was the droids. Whatever it was. Yeah, it was with chance.
Yeah.
But anyway, same kind of thing. So the gnome's out there in the middle of nowhere. So a bad shot or one of my normal shots could have gotten us to closest to the gnome to win a prize.
Did you know? Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then the last thing I had about this one was I said to Corey, I said, what was a highlight of the weekend? What was a memorable moment? And I'm thinking Corey might be a Funniest Home Videos fan by the memorable moment. Said there was lots of fun things that happened at this event.
Yeah.
But apparently the course was pretty hard packed.
Right.
So when you're on the fairway in the fairway general vicinity and such, you're walking on the snow and it's been compacted down, but they've got a lot of snow out there.
Right.
And what would happen is someone would throw it like we would to the left or the right off of the track, and they wouldn't know. But when they stepped off of that hard pack, you'd sink up to your thighs and just watching somebody go from walking like they think they're just going to walk out into the snow, sink up to their thighs, and then they're like wallowing
like
swimming in the snow to get there. But good job, Corey, and the team out there in St. Joseph Island Disc Golf Club for raising some money and some food for the food bank. Those ice bowls are always a good thing.
It's awesome. All right, I want to switch gears a little bit here, Jeremy. We're done talking about Canada. Not that we're done talking about Canada. We'll get back to it in a minute. But on the Pro Tour side, we've covered the tournament down under, the tour down under. Sorry, that's all wrapped up now. Most of the competitors are back in the States or back in Canada or wherever they're going to be for the rest of the season. The first tournament is only a week away on the Pro Tour. How excited are you to get back to watching some disc golf again?
I'm excited.
I mean, I know we've been watching it, but, finally back to the Pro Tour. That'll be starting back down in Florida again this year. That'll be at the Supreme Flight Open. If you remember, that's Paul Macbeth and Dylan Cease's course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, did you look? Because I did some looking to see who is going to this. You know how I always want to see if we got any Canadians at it.
Right. Yeah,
did you happen to look?
I did not look. I haven't looked yet.
Okay.
But you've
so
already looked?
I have looked.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, there's no Canadians on the MPO side at the event. So Thomas isn't heading down.
Okay.
I think he's doing school at this time, if I remember right. So he's got probably lots of stuff on the go.
Okay.
But we got 3 Canadian FPOs down there. And I wanted to put it to you and to the listeners with if they don't look, they can't go look. But who's registered for the Supreme Flight Open in Florida? 3 Canadians.
Well, there's three that instantly spring to mind.
Fire away.
But I'll qualify one of them. Okay, so it's got to be Sophia.
Yes, Sophia Donica
Sophia's
will
gotta
be
be-
down in Florida.
Right.
You got that one.
That one's a lock-in.
Mm-hmm.
The second one, this one could be 50. I'm going to say 70-30, but the second one I'm going to say more confident about Rebecca Dawn.
Correct again.
Okay.
There you go. You got one more to guess.
The third one, and this is where it gets a little bit dicey. I would have said my number one or maybe number two would have been Chantel Bedinsky.
Mm-hmm.
But now that she is maybe taking a step back, no longer with Prodigy, throw an open bag. She did say that she's going to try and concentrate on her YouTube, but she's still going to do some disc golf. So that is over there on that East Coast. Mm-hmm. It's closer to her. It's a nice hot, warm weather. Why wouldn't you want to go down to Florida this time of year?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Unless it's some FPO that I don't know about, or it would be not a random, but like a off the cuff person. I'm going to go with Chantel.
No, it's not actually Chantel.
Okay. Do I get a second guess?
You do not.
All right. Tell me then.
So this person is an FPO we've had on the show.
Kat Johnson.
No, not Kat Johnson.
Okay.
Hails from Quebec.
Karen Martel.
Karen Martel is registered to
Ooh.
head down to Florida to be in the Supreme
job.
Flight Open. So it'll be great to watch, and hopefully she can get herself on some coverage there.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So that's great. We're looking forward to that. The other thing, too, to let everybody know is we're very excited, as we've talked about a number of times, not only about Alberta Provincials happening, but Canadian Nationals is happening in Grand Prairie. And the next tier of registration came up, which is for all those really great players because it's rating specific, and also for some of the underserved divisions as well. Mm-hmm. But what's happened is a lot of pros have started registering, and I want to shout out because there's some familiar names that I'm seeing out there. So I'm going to say some of these names and you're going to be like, what? This is the who's who
Go for it.
of Canada that's happening here. So
It
we've
is
got
nationals.
Yeah, it's nationals. We've got FBO. We've got Bailey Inglis coming back out and playing there. Colleen McInnes is coming out from Ontario. Gabby Lee out from Victoria. Joe Henderson up from Calgary. Look at me knowing where all these people
I was
are.
just going to say, see how long you can keep going.
Kat Johnson from Toronto, Kristen Swirls from Edmonton, Terry Heiserbaum Hong, also from Edmonton, as well as Zoe Lorenz Bozer, and of course, the aforementioned Sophia Donica is going to be there too, and she's from Victoria as well. So
Good job.
I know my Canadian FPOs. On the MPOs,
You did clarify FBOs.
yeah, on the MPO side, we got Casey Hannemeyer from Cranbrook going to be out there. Chad Stantz and his alter ego Chance Stad coming out from Langley, BC. Chris Brown from the Burlington, Ontario area. Drew Biette coming out there from Saskatchewan. If I remember, it's Moose Jaw. Coda Postma from Canmore. Miguel Alvarado coming out from Vancouver area. Noah Higgins from Lethbridge. Look at me go.
I know. Yeah.
Riley Douglas from Edmonton. And Thomas Gilbert from parts unknown in Ontario. I think what we
Toronto,
always find out.
yeah, it could be somewhere
Huntsville,
else.
you name it, somewhere around there.
That's pretty stacked lineup.
Yeah, you think that's pretty big names, hey?
Yeah.
Thomas Gilbert's going to be there. Like we've got some of the we said we want Ontario people heading out to nationals. We've got it. But you know what else we've got?
What else we got?
Nate Sexton is going to Canadian Nationals.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
It's awesome. And he's playing in the MPO division.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if we get out there, are you going to go up when he's putting and whisper in his ear?
Yeah.
Say, this is for the Canadian National Championships,
Yeah.
Nate.
This is to beat Thomas Gilbert.
That might be all right. So
Yeah.
we'll have the commentator from Champs versus Chumps versus a Canadian champ, plus all of these other amazing Canadians.
Yeah.
And this is just the start. What's it going to look like by the time registration fills up?
Right? Yeah, it's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all it takes, right? You get one big name, and then somebody else is like, oh, maybe if Nate's going, then maybe I'll see if I can swing up there. I got some time that weekend or whatever.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
That's good. Well, we got a long topic show, so let's get going through here because we got a great guest waiting in the wings there.
Mm-hmm.
We've got two amazing sponsors of the Chain Out podcast that we want you to help us support, and it helps support us as well. And we have two stores out of Canada. We've got BR Disc Golf, and Brendan out there had let us know that he's just about ready to place an order with House of Discs as well as with Stokely Discs. So if you're interested in getting some discs and actually putting in an order for what you want and having it come in, you can message him and he'll get your custom request added to the list for the order. And when you do that, use the code CHAINOUT. It's a promo code that helps support your favorite podcast. And then on the other side, we've got Disc Republic as well. And one of the things I wanted to bring up about what they have going on is when you're on their website, they also support local disc dyers. And there's like so many connections. So we've got Winnipeg, we got Disc Republic working with us. We've got Dina, who's been a long-time supporter of the podcast, who's in the comments tonight, who dyes discs. And she's actually got 5 discs up on the website right now that you could purchase that with her awesome dyes on there. She's got a time lapse up there, a servo, a crave, a wave, and a pyro. So if you're an MVP Axiom gyro nut like myself, you can get a great dyed disc that way. So yeah, that's awesome. It's a way to support local disc dyers and support Disc Republic and support Chain Out Podcast. How do you go wrong?
Got it all.
Yeah, you get it all. So that's what we've got going on. Thanks to our sponsors for supporting the podcast, and thanks to you for supporting us and our sponsors.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Look at that.
There we go.
Yeah. Well, a couple of weeks ago, we announced our 500 subscriber giveaway, and we did our draw for it. We got our winner. It was Josh. So he is been contacted. He is going to be getting his package sent out to him sometime this weekend.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So congrats to him again. Sometime this week, we're going to be putting up our next giveaway. The giveaways don't stop on the Chain Out podcast. Project 15 giveaway, so kindly donated by Gabe Robinson. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna be getting that up this week. Also, I'm still working on some deals, but I'm gonna tease one of the people that I've got. Right, I've been contacting a few different people. One person that I did contact was somebody who's been on the podcast before.
Okay.
Mr. John Goldthorpe.
Ooh, Mr. Innova Canada himself.
Mr. Ex-Ace Runners. Yeah, that person. Now, you know, there's only a few people that actually have a DJ Disc Golf Mini.
That's right.
I purchased those a long time ago when I first got into disc golf, and I thought I needed a Mini, so I had to go order my own customized one. I ordered it from the Ace Runners website.
Okay.
Obviously, we know that Innova came over and purchased Ace Runners, but they still have all the things available to do, custom Minis.
Oh.
So part of the fantasy giveaway this year, we're going to have a few more than this, but John very kindly printed up some... There we go. Get it right away. Chain Out Minis.
Look at those. That logo looks so good on those.
Yeah, we got the regular, the CO,
Yes.
the Chain Link Mini. Also, we've got some with the Chain Out podcast stamp on them as well. You can get them in any color. You can get them in white, where you can add your own full screen logo, the kind of graphic that I did, or you know, these just look awesome with the Chain Out logo on them as well. You can get them in any color. Pink, or maybe not any color, but pink, blue, or green, or pink, blue, orange, and white.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they will be part of the fantasy giveaway, and we're going to be a bit more structured this year.
Well, it's been getting better every year. I can't wait to see what you've got lined up for us.
Yeah, we got some changes. Me and Dylan were talking today, but yeah. So
That's
stay
awesome.
tuned once I get people locked in and get the tier and the prize and the points and everything else settled. We'll announce more details.
That's awesome. I love it. You're doing a great job on that. And speaking of staying tuned, stay tuned after this episode. Go over to Patreon, get our free link to join us for more disc golf talk on Around the Basket, where we're going to chat. We get more interactive. We get the chat involved, and I need some help picking my bag for Tundra Toss this weekend. So jump on there and tell me what I should be throwing when we're in deep snow, and maybe for a AM40 who's trying to get his game better. What does he need to throw? So we'll talk about that plus
back
other
out.
things. Yeah, just back out. But we've had our guest waiting too long.
Yes.
And I know we always talk about the green room. Did you put tea in the green room? Because the teapot is here. So I don't think
Oh, in the green room,
Yeah.
they have tea on tap.
Oh, just
Just
so beer on one tap,
Yeah.
and then tea on the other.
tea on the other.
I love it. Okay, well, hopefully if he's been drinking that tea, has he gone to the washroom? Is he back in his chair?
He's back in his chair.
Okay.
He was on the tea, not the beer.
Okay, sounds good. Well, tonight's guest hails from the bustling metropolis of Elkford, BC. Been there?
Nope.
No. Okay. He has been playing since his university days, and his passion for disc golf has never wavered. He is the NADGT Canada Tour Director and has been helping grow the tour every single year. We want to hear all about what the tour and Kevin have planned for the year. So join us in welcoming Kevin King back to the show.
Keep it going, Jeremy.
Oh, and then, I thought you were saying I had to speed up. That was the speed up?
No.
Yeah, so we've had Kevin King on before, and...
Now we're ready.
Oh, okay, well, go ahead.
How's it going?
Good, Kevin. How are you doing?
Good. How about that weather? Just kidding.
How is the weather out in Elkford, BC, by the way, in the bustling metropolis?
We have all of the snow. If you need any snow, we've got it in my backyard, on my shed, on my trampoline. It has been nonstop for like 2 days.
Really?
Wow.
It was rough. Yeah. So it's funny. It's like it hits a wall at the border because we got friends in Lethbridge that get a little bit, but we had family over for the weekend. We had the in-laws visiting for Family Day weekend, and they were gonna go home Monday afternoon. The highway was closed. There were accidents. There were cars in ditches and just no visibility. And they turned around and stayed an extra night. So we got to hang out with them for another night out in the middle of nowhere in the mountains. So
Wow.
you guys say you haven't come yet. Well, there's a pretty good tournament every year that I run. And it's July 4th this year, the Gut Shot. So you got a place to stay if you can make it up.
Yeah. Well, I hear that even this year, and maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but this year it might even be a premier event.
It is a premier. It's been a premier NADGT event for the last couple of years, which is just a step up from the general exclusive events that we run nationwide. Players packs are a little bulkier, and then for my event personally, I get a lot of the town, the businesses are great supporters of the event, and we got lots of added cash for the pros, and we usually provide a lunch and bonus players pack items, and I try and roll out the red carpet for those people who are willing to make that extra trip out to my neck of the woods.
Well, tell us a bit about that, because I know Elkford, and I know you're kind of out on the way from, say, Cardston out to Fernie, right? But is it about halfway, or how is it on that road?
So from like Cardston or Lethbridge, actually, both are kind of equidistant from me. From Lethbridge is about 2 hours and 2.25 hours.
Okay.
We're basically, the first town in is Sparwood on Highway 3, and if you go north from Highway 3, you'll find Elkford about 25 minutes up the road.
So essentially go to the big, huge green mining truck and then turn north. Is that essentially what you got to do?
Absolutely. You drive north until the road ends, and then there's nothing north of us. There's just mines and dirt roads and stuff. And it's funny, if you ever ask the mayor of Elkford, the former mayor of Elkford, people will say, "Oh, Elkford's at the end of the road," and he would correct people. He's like, "No, Elkford is the start of the road. Everything begins in Elkford."
That's awesome. So is that essentially it? You get all the way up there, the road ends/starts. We can talk about that part. But then when you get there, then there's just a disc golf course just ready to play. Is that how it works?
Absolutely. Yep, a hidden gem of a disc golf course at the end of a road. So, yeah.
And what is that course called, by the way, too? Is it called, like, I know it's the Gut Shot tournament, but that's not the name of the course, is it?
No, the Gut Shot's the tournament. The course is the Dearborn Disc Golf Course. It's in Elkford on Dearborn Drive. So.
Gotcha. And it's an 18
when I was
hole, or?
18 holes, yeah, 18 holes. When I was first creating the course, this is over a decade ago. When I was flagging it, there was a mama deer with a fresh baby out on the course, and I'm like, Dearborn seems like a very appropriate name for this course. So, yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay, we'll add it to the list, Jeremy.
Yes, of course it's on the list. Yeah, that's a great one to be on there.
Anytime someone mentions the course that we have to go play or a tournament that we have to go play, you kind of look at me and say, add it to the list.
So. Can you mark that on the thing?
Yes.
That's where you put the mark so we don't forget.
I'll mark it. So we're talking about all this snow and the bad weather that we've had. How is your off season going? Do you get a chance to play? Are you a basement putter?
I would love to say that I am. I have a net that my wife got me for Father's Day a couple of years ago. It is just collected dust. My basket stays outside. I don't get a lot of practice going. I'll practice occasionally when I get to somewhere like Lethbridge where I'm visiting family, because they usually have significantly less snow than I've got here. But my off season is maybe busier than my tournament season, because there's so much planning to do, and emails and setting up the tour, and practice takes a bit of a back seat, and usually is reflected in my rating when the spring rolls around. So.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, and with that too, so that's in your off season, so you're not doing any throwing in that. But like Daryl and I have been talking about it, I always have a good start to the year. I'm a resolutions guy where it actually can hold. It's the one time of the year where I can get a number of weeks in a row of doing something. So I'm now officially like 6 weeks in, working out 3 days a week, walking 2 days a week, 10 pounds down. So I'm really happy, hoping that's going to translate into some sort of better throw or something later on. Do you do anything on that side? Are you that kind of guy too, or?
No, no. I have aspirations to become that guy one day. Every year I keep telling myself, you know what, this off season I'm going to practice a lot more. I'm going to get my putting down, and nah, doesn't happen. It's just I know I'm past my athletic prime, and so but I know my tournament director prime is still coming. So I focus on those side of things during the off season.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Life gets in the way sometimes, right? We all have these dreams and aspirations, and the most good intentions in the world, but when something crops up and gets in the way, it's so easily those are the things that go to the side, and probably things that they shouldn't.
Well, this is what it really makes me think of, and I think Kevin, as a family guy as well, and Daryl and I, you can relate to this, is that I remember being newly married, being young. I was 21 when I got married, and I remember there were actual days where my wife and I would look at each other and go, I'm kind of bored. What would you like to do? Like, we were trying to find things to do. And now I long for those days, because I could fill it with so many disc golf related jobs and activities I'd like to do. So it's it is tough to get it all in.
Yeah, oh, for sure. And with 4 kids here at home, and the wife working, and there's something all the time. And there's no shortage of activities and things for the kids to fill my days. So thankfully, it's a little easier for me to fill those days in the winter, because I'm not running around, running tournaments or participating in tournaments. And the wife appreciates once I get back from Texas every November, that she's got me for at least another 4 months before I'm out on the course again religiously.
So, and is it about 2 weeks before she is wondering why she wanted you back, or how long does it take to get to that point?
She's got a horrible memory. Every year she forgets how bad it is. But I've married a saint that lets me put as much time and effort into disc golf, into what some might see as a bit of a silly hobby. I put so much energy into it, and she's an excellent support for that.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, talking about your rating going down and not putting too much work in during the off season, it looks like you did manage to squeeze some rounds in last year, and to couple with that, you actually managed to squeeze out 3 wins as well in the MP40 division.
Oh, well, there you go. I MP40 locally has. I don't enter too many tournaments where I have to beat 15, 20 guys. Most of the events that I have time and energy for are C tiers or smaller B tiers. It's few and far between that I attend an A tier. So I might have a couple MP40 wins from last year, and they mean the world to me.
Yeah.
I know that as guys, as I start to age and I start hearing of you hear of like Big Germ is like now playing Masters. I'm like, oh shoot, I guess guys are getting that age and they are better than I am. And hopefully I can knock down another couple this year. That would be nice.
Well, it's one thing that Jeremy always says to me. I have one career win, if you want to
Yes,
call it that.
you do.
And I'm always trying to clarify it and say, oh yeah, but it was this and it was that. And Jeremy's like, no, you don't need to clarify anything. If you look at PDGA, profile page, it says that you have one win there. So it doesn't matter how many people are in the division or who the people are in the division. It says you have the wins. You've got the win. So all the better for you. You showed up and you had to beat them on that given day. So do you have any highlights from any of those wins in the past year that maybe stand out?
I'd say even if I jump back a year prior, just touching on what you were just touching on, I had a goal a couple of years ago to win my first MPO division, and also to throw a 1,000 rated round, because prior to a year ago I hadn't achieved either of those goals. So those have been kind of regular goals for me, kind of for the last couple of years, and I was able to get that MPO win. Actually, this was the trophy here from the Wolfpack Classic in McGrath.
Okay.
You can take that one down. This was the trophy that I won, was a dyed disc for the Wolfpack Classic. So
nice.
This is that's my one and only open win. I was able to achieve that goal. You can go ahead and see the not quite star-studded field that I beat in order to take down that win. But still, it was an open win. Anybody could have joined. I beat the people that joined the event, and I was maybe my favorite win is that one, because that was a long time coming for an MPO win, not just MP40. That was MPO. So
yeah,
nice.
Haven't got the 1,000 rated round yet. That's coming.
How close have you gotten?
Not that close. I think if you go to my PDGA page, I think and you sort by rated rounds, I think my highest is 980 something, maybe the high 980s.
That's getting there.
So I haven't even got to 990 yet. So I don't know. I feel like it's going to happen. I don't feel like my game is deteriorating that much. My rating did go a little bit down last year, year over year. But with some concerted effort, I did notice towards the back end of the year, my putting was getting a lot better, because I got a new putting basket that I was excited to use, and I actually used. And towards September and October, I could feel my putting stroke was getting a little bit better. So there's something about this whole practice makes perfect thing. So
there you go.
If I take that to heart a little bit more, I might have that 1,000 rated round in me.
And you know what? If you had already hit that 1,000 rated round, what would you be doing now? You've got nothing left to strive for. So at least you've got it to work towards again now, right?
that carrot is still dangling there in front
exactly.
of you. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we know that you'll be playing a bunch of NADGT events, and if you're not playing them, you're going to be helping support them and run them and all of those things there. But we got a couple big events happening in Alberta this year, which is right next door to you, being that we've got Canadian Nationals happening and Alberta Provincials. Is there any chance we'll see you coming up for either of those events? Are they on your list for 2026?
Those aren't on, not those two in particular. It seems like such a lost opportunity to have Nationals so close and not having plans on being up there. I'm sure I could find a reason to be out there. My wife got me tickets to a show that is the same
Nate
weekend in Calgary. Yeah.
I'm struggling with the exact same situation, although I'm probably going so there might be a couple Nate Bargatze tickets up for availability, but that was the hardest decision I was having to make. And I was telling Daryl, I'm like, how do I be in two places at the same time? He's like, well, why don't you just go to the Edmonton one instead? And I'm like, because it's the next day. It's still the same weekend.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I love Nate Bargatze. I love comedy, and being able to see him, it was a good gift that she gave me, and I'll be happy to go have a weekend with her alone. With the kids will stay with the in-laws, and I'll have a good weekend. It won't be out on the disc golf course. But.
Oh yeah, you'll love it. He, to me, is one of the funniest comedians out there at this time. Yeah. So. No, that's great.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing last year he was the number one highest grossing comedian, at least for touring. Right. So yeah, I'm excited to see him.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him before. I've seen Brian Regan a couple times. Haven't seen Nate yet though. So.
Well, we got to get some discs into Nate's hand, and then get him and Bert Kreischer to kind of be friends, and then there could be like a disc golf comedy tour.
Yeah, there you go.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Look at these ideas. And then they could
I'd
be
help run that
affiliated with
tournament.
NADGT
Yeah.
because they're both AMs. So, right? It'll all work.
Absolutely, yeah.
To quote Craig Sheether,
Yes,
if you
exactly.
want to do it, Jeremy, get out and do it.
Get out and do it yourself, Jeremy. Yeah. It's a famous quote of ours that we like to remind ourselves whenever we're really getting too pie in the sky with our ideas. Craig Sheether was always there to pull us back to the ground and say, "Great idea, boys. When are you doing it?"
Yeah.
So, well, speaking of NADGT, you've been on the show before. We looked, it was November 2024. So it's been well over a year since you've been on there. And some of our listeners who are new to the podcast may not be as familiar with NADGT. So why don't you tell us a little bit of the background of what the National Amateur Disc Golf Tour is, kind of how it started and how you got involved with it?
Sure. I was on once since then. I did
Yes.
the fantasy draft and completely picked a horrible team.
Did you pick with your heart, Kevin? Did you pick with your heart?
I thought I actually picked really, really well, and then your guys were the ones that got all those eagles that were worth like a bazillion points, and I didn't have any of those eagle guys. So one of my guys got an
rare
ace,
eagle,
and it's yeah. One of my guys got an ace. He was like the only guy in the tournament that got an ace. And it counted for nothing for me. So
there'll be some changes this year, Kevin. There'll be changes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I filed a grievance with the commissioner, and I'm still waiting to see how he rules on that. But so the NADGT it initially started as the Next Gen Tour, and that was Dave Feldberg's baby, because he, being a world champion disc golfer, he would fly and travel all over the world and play these phenomenal events and these pro tour events and majors and all that. And they roll out the red carpet for the pros, and he kind of noticed that there wasn't really that same opportunity for amateur players. And his wife would travel with him, and she would play on the am side of a lot of these events. And it was just a complete stark difference in terms of their experience. So he decided, I'm going to make an amateur tour that focuses on elevating the player experience, the tournament experience for amateurs. And so the Next Gen Tour was born. For the first few years, the tour finale was in Fountain Hills. I think Noah Higgins, he went down to that one. I think prior to Noah going down, Stuart McIsaac, he went down to Fountain Hills, playing in the finale down there. At those tournaments, because it was an amateur-only tournament, there was no cash prizes because that's an open thing. So Feldberg would give away cars. So the winner would get that's brand crazy. New car.
Wow.
And they would drive off the course in a brand new something. And that was a pretty cool prize for an amateur to get. It was worth more than what most of the pros are going to be getting for their open wins. So they did that for a couple of years. And then Dave kind of shifted the tour from the Next Gen Tour to the National Amateur Disc Golf Tour, the NADGT. And instead of giving cars, because it was so top heavy on the prizes, the winner got a car and second place would get, $100 in script, right? So a steep drop off from 1 to 2. So he changed it changed the format, changed the name, rebranded. The National Amateur Disc Golf Tour was born from the Next Gen Tour, and the finale down in Texas would be, he moved the finale, from Fountain Hills to Austin, Texas. And at that finale, the winner would get cash. So it's an amateur-only invitational tournament, and they are playing in an MPO division or FPO division for cash. So that those players, the top amateur players in the country and in Canada and the United States, can go down, compete for cash, and use the event as a springboard to elevate them into the ranks of the pros. So they would take cash, they would become a professional class player, and we might see them on tour down the road. So that's how the NADGT was born. That's how I got into it. Is I went down to the first tournament when they had shifted from Fountain Hills to Austin, and I played in the Austin tournament. I qualified in Calgary, and at the time that was the only qualifying event for the NADGT was in Calgary. So I played in that one. Went down to Austin, played in that one. Finished kind of middle of the pack. I didn't play phenomenally well or anything, but had a great time, and introduced myself to Dave Feldberg, because why wouldn't you? It's kind of I got a little fanboyish for a minute, seeing this guy running things, and yeah, I just introduced myself and told them I was the lone Canadian that was down here, and how I thought there might be opportunity to have the tour grow in Canada, and gave him my contact information. I gave him some ideas, and he handed the keys to me about a year or two later, after kind of checking to make sure I wasn't a complete idiot. So I tricked him pretty good. So.
No,
That's awesome.
I think he did his due diligence and learned the right, that he had the right person to run the tour. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
well,
that was how many years ago now? That would have been, actually, I do have my, here's my disc from that year. So 2019 was the year I went, was the last year. It was the next gen tour.
okay.
Oh yeah.
And so, yeah, so that was 2019 that I was there. And then 2020, well, we all know what happened then. So there wasn't a lot going on. And then 2021, by 2021, I kind of had full control over the Canadian side of things. And we grew from one event when I qualified, and I think Noah and Stu had also qualified. I think Stu had to go down to Washington actually to qualify. I don't think there was anything
Oh,
local for him.
Right.
Noah qualified in Calgary, and then the next year I qualified in Calgary. So we went from one event in 2019, 2018. First year I was in charge, we had 8 events. So I thought that was pretty good growth. And every year we've grown more and more in terms of number of events. And this year we're knocking on we got 29 confirmed right now. So we're knocking on 30.
Wow.
We usually get a couple additional events throughout the season as tournament directors reach out to me and find a way to get an event at their course locally.
wow.
So you said that there was one when you qualified, and then when you took over, there was 8. Was there somebody growing it from 1 to 8, or when you took over, you kind of spread the wings and had 8 at that point?
Yeah. So when I took over, there had just been the one. So everything
Okay.
was done out of the States. So if I wanted to run an event, I would reach out to Falberg and his team and say, hey, I live in wherever I live. I'd
Right.
like to run a qualifying event. And he would say, great, here's what you need to do. So we had those at Homestead the first couple of years. When I qualified, it was at Homestead.
Right.
Um, and so, yeah, that was, and the thing is, it was the same format as the American events. So they'd already been growing for a couple of years. They had a system down. The Canadian side of things, it's hard to explain, but it didn't really work well, their format up here. And I let Dave know that. I said, what you want to do isn't quite working, especially with working with the border, where you have to ship players packs to the tournament directors and
Hmm.
dealing with border logistics and issues with that. So I told him, I said, let me source Canadian players packs independent from you guys. I'll source it all from Canada, so I don't have to deal with the border. And that's been a big improvement, because I've got a bunch of stuff in my guest room now that I didn't have to go to the States to get, so I can support Canadian businesses. It brings costs down for me. It's easier logistically for me. And yeah, so then I reached out to tournament directors across Canada, was able to get 8 tournament directors to sign on that first year. And then, yeah, and now a lot of these same tournament directors, I'm working with them year over year. And I love getting new emails from additional people that are just learning about what we do and asking how they can get involved.
No, that is great. And looking at it too, when I was when you said there's 29 events, like there seems to be this year even more new events. Is there can you tell us a bit about a few of the new events that you're excited to have joining the tour this year?
For sure, yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited about the growth that we've seen in Eastern Canada, from Ontario out towards the Atlantic. Because historically, I mean, because I live here, it's easier for me to reach out to tournament directors that I personally know between BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan. And so, yeah, historically, we've had kind of a stronger route system in Western Canada. But we've had the Foxwood Open has been an affiliate event of ours for 4 or 5 years now, which is a big event, and we qualify a lot of players from Ontario just from that event. And last year we had a couple in Newfoundland and one in Quebec that sold out. And yeah, so this year we have a lot of those same events are coming back. We have some new events that are going to be. We got one down in the Windsor area. We've got another couple in the Quebec area, and one of them is already sold out. It's a new tournament for this year. players are eager to play tournaments out that way. So much so that the tournament sold out before I had even figured out what my players packs were going to be. They're just so excited, and maybe there's something to the NADGT name that they trust, that they know we'll put together a good players pack for them. But yeah, the tournament sold out before anything was even in the about section about what they're going to be getting. They're just excited to be a part of the NADGT. So yeah, so we've got 3 events in Quebec this year. A couple more in Ontario. We got one affiliate event up in Sudbury this year, and yeah, we got a couple more out in. I was going to say the Maritimes. I know in Newfoundland. Newfoundland's not the Maritimes. I learned that last year. Newfoundland is Atlantic Canada.
Yes.
So yeah, and I mean, you guys were talking about the Tundra Toss. That's our first one this year. The Tundra Toss is an NADGT affiliate event. So Brock and his team are going to run things the way they're going to run their event, and all the amateur players at that event are going to be, amongst other things that they're playing for, that Brock is providing for prizing and whatnot. They're all going to be invited to NADGT Canada Nationals this year, which is in August. And then if they play well enough in their division, they get invited to go play in Austin as well at the end of October.
Yeah, and you know, that's a great point to bring up, because maybe people who are being part of NADGT is that we've got guests in the chat that are there, like Sam Western. He's been down to Austin. Brody Jewel Hansen from from Calgary area, he's gone down. So we've heard lots of great things about it.
The Talboys have gone down a couple of times.
Yeah. Oh, so
to see them. Yeah.
So Dina and Kevin made it down there too. So now with all of that, give us an idea for the people who don't know, is how does the qualifying, like how does the road to Austin work? Because like you said, there's, you know, you got an affiliate event like we have coming up this weekend. Do you have to win it? Is it how you participate? Then there's the premier events. There's the Canadian Nationals. Kind of walk us through the different paths that you could go to get to Austin.
Sure. So players, let's take the Tundra Toss as an example. Mm-hmm. So players at the Tundra Toss, every amateur player, I think there's 30 of them or so for now, but all amateur players will be invited to play at the NADGT Canada National Championships. Just the only prerequisite to get into that one is playing in a qualifying event. So they will all be invited to that one. I'm excited. Actually, I didn't mention this in the previous question, but in Eastern Canada this year, we have our first regional qualifying event. It's called the NADGT Canada Eastern Challenge, and that's going to be in Develeville, Quebec. Okay. And so we've got a team out there. They're the ones that run our Quebec event. They ran it last year and sold it out. They pitched an idea to me to have a big regional event out that way for all the players that are qualifying out in Eastern Canada. So anybody who plays in any NADGT Canada event will be invited to either to both of those events. They're both taking place the same weekend. So you can't play both, but you get to pick either join us at Nationals, the A tier in August, or you can be in Eastern Canada in Quebec and play in their Eastern Challenge out that way. So again, anyone who plays any qualifying event gets invited to both of those. And to get down to Austin to play in the big one, where we're going to have 1,000 players, in order to get down there, you have to play in a qualifying event and finish in the top quarter of your division. So the top 25% get invited down to Texas. So top 25% and ties. And if you're in an underserved divisions, ladies and juniors, it's top 40%.
Okay.
So those players, they get invitations, they get emails from the NADGT headquarters in the States. They get emails after event inviting them to Austin and providing them with a link and letting them know how to register for that.
Nice. That's good. And I think we should go back to a little bit, was you were talking about the amazing prize packs that you guys put together, and that's one of the things NADGT is known for. And I know you were in the green room listening to us as I was joking about the hand warmers, but I had gotten a hand warmer from NADGT last year, which was awesome, and I've used it multiple times, which I really liked there as well. So you've got the hand warmers. I've seen that. I've seen cooling towels. I've seen discs, of course, with the NADGT logo. Like, you come up with some unique items, but some good items that disc golfers aren't used to seeing, but they're useful to what they need. So is there other items like that you've been looking at for this year?
Yeah. And honestly, I appreciate that, because that is a goal of mine. I've been in the game for a little bit, and I know what most amateurs are getting at their tournaments, and it's a lot of the same. So if I can find something that is, like you said, something that's unique, that stands out, but something that's still useful, that I love that. That's what I try and do. So yeah. So for this year, our players packs for the exclusive events are they're going to be there's going to be some similarities to last year, but a couple of differences as well. So we're going to have discs as well. We always have discs. We partner with a lot of the manufacturers to make sure that everyone who comes to an NADGT Canada event, the exclusives and the premiers, that they get premium plastic discs with the NADGT stamp on it. So I recently got my House of Discs order picked up on Monday.
Okay.
So they've sent. We've got some pretty Orbit Ice. What's this one? This is a Felon. So
Nice.
so nice kind of fun Felon here, and Disc Mania. They gave us some Metal Flake kind of Glimmer MD4s. So I don't know how much the Metal Flake plays through in that.
Yeah.
So some pretty stuff already showing up. So that's the discs. This year we do have hand warmers. They arrived kind of in the middle of last season.
Yeah.
So some of the earlier events the spring events, they didn't have access to those. So a lot of those tournaments that are running kind of the same weekend, we're going to be giving them hand warmers as well. Just like we sent to Brock for Thunder Toss. So I know someone was asking too, are they going to be charged for the first round? And I can assure you that they are. I've been in talks with Brock. He's tested every single one that I sent to him. We found one or two that didn't work, so I've sent him some replacements that I've charged and made sure that they're working. So, yeah, they're going to work. I do see a question from Mark. Actually, if I can answer?
Yeah,
a question?
I was going to bring it up when we get to a little bit later, but yeah, it's
well. And as we get to that question, I'm just going to say there's
Yeah.
one other item that I am always fond of that I've only really gotten through NADGT, and you guys put out those, and it's such a simple item, but I really enjoy it. Is the little birdie tag wheels. And so it'll be a birdie tag wheel, plastic wheel, 18 different tabs.
Yeah.
You put your favorite course or your home course on it, and then you snap off tabs when you birdie each hole, and you try to fill out as much as you can with the tabs. I think that's like one of those ones that's just, it's something small, but it's different, it's unique, and it gives you a constant
I think I've seen it on your bag. It almost looks like a perfect wheel.
Yeah, it almost looks like a perfect wheel. There's like maybe one little chip off of it.
Yeah,
right now.
exactly.
And I think you guys have spoken to Tana's trainer. I believe she's been on the show.
Yeah.
And she's the mind behind birdie tags, and yeah, that was a phenomenal players pack item, and I really liked those ones because, for one, it was something new that a lot of players didn't have. Two, it's thin, so it's easy for me to mail if someone if someone signs up late and I need to mail them a players pack. Those things are very easy to send in the mail, and it's Canadian, so anytime I can support somebody that's making things in Canada like Tanis was, that one was a no-brainer. So
yeah.
Going back to your previous question, the other things we have in the players pack. So we got the discs. You're gonna either get a hand warmer or a custom toque. Which I have coming. I had some samples sent to me, and they're really nice. We got some that are kind of beanie style, and some that got cuffs. So whatever you like, we're going to send a couple to each event. Yeah, like I said, either the toques or the hand warmers.
Nice.
So that's another item. And then last year we did pins through DG Pins. Right. So this year we're doing pins again. They're going to be different. They're going to look different, and we have a different supplier for that. So you'll be getting pins. And something that I have not seen that I'm actually kind of excited about. I'm excited to see how it's received. Is one of these. So I don't know. Do you want to guess what this is?
Oh. It looks like a ball. It's not an ornament for my tree, is it?
Oh, okay. It is completely round.
It is completely spherical. It's about this big, about 2.5 inches.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna guess that is something like it's a disc retriever that you throw up into the trees.
Good guess, but it is not that. So
Okay.
this is an emergency poncho.
Ah.
So
wow.
disc golfers will occasionally get stuck in the rain. They're us or our bags. And so inside here, you open this up, and inside is a full size adult poncho that is
Wow.
unroll.
Yeah.
And I've tested it on my disc golf bag. It fits a big grip bag pretty well. And of course, it's got the cutouts for the arms and for the hood, which is nice if you got putter pocket or you want to put your backpack arms through there. So so it like I said, something that I hadn't seen before. I've seen these similar ones that sell at the Calgary Cavalry. I think it's the soccer team in Calgary. And so if you're stuck at a soccer game and you need a poncho, you can buy these for $9 or $10 or something at the thing. So anyways, these are what players are going to be getting at NADGT events. So
was that inspired, Kevin? Just to interrupt you for a second, was that inspired by WJ Homestead a couple years ago? Because I'm sure we could have used them if you remember that year.
It was. So for those that don't know, the last 2 years that I've run an event at Homestead. So 2 years ago was Father's Day weekend, and we were playing on the Saturday, and it was just really bad rainstorm for the second round. The first round we were okay. Second round the rain came and it was rough, and the lightning came and it was passing right over us. So we had to call a lightning delay. We called everyone off the course. We were waiting just by Tournament Central. They're just getting it out, and then a lightning strike happened like probably no more than like 200 feet from us. Like it was right there.
Instant lightning thunder right beside us, shaking everybody.
So everyone scattered. They're like, "Oh, I'm going to my car." So everyone went to go find somewhere where they could relax with rubber grounding. So we waited that one out for it must have been an hour or two. It's maybe because I was running the event, it seemed a lot longer to me than I think maybe it was to everyone else. But we eventually got back out on the course. It was still raining. The lightning had subsided. So there was that, and then last year I had the same tournament scheduled for the same Father's Day weekend on the Saturday, and the forecast was calling for something of biblical proportions. It was so bad, and I put it out to all the players. I said, "What do you guys think? Like this is what it's calling for." I sent an email out Wednesday-ish, I think on Wednesday or Thursday, saying, we're looking at a bazillion miles an hour wind and this much rainfall, and it's going to be coming sideways. What do you think? And overwhelmingly, they voted. The feedback was like about 90%. It was let's postpone. So
yeah, we all knew
these would be phenomenal for anyone who's playing a tournament at Homestead when I'm running it, because apparently Mother Nature hates me whenever I run a tournament at Homestead.
and it's such a great course to be at too. And it's like it is like the views and everything, but being that close to the mountains, can't predict Mother Nature.
Yeah.
No.
I think Mother Nature hates you because you've been involved in quite a few lightning delays.
Falcons last year, we had a really big one as well. So interesting that way. But you know what, Kevin, I kind of let us steer a little bit far away, and I do want you to get back to be able to answer that question. Or did you have something more about the packs to say before we got there?
No, that's it. So we got discs, we got pins, we got poncho balls, and then you'll get either a toque or a hand warmer depending on what the tournament director asks for.
Awesome.
Cool. Yeah. So let's get to this question. I was saving it for a bit later, but we can definitely address it now. So Mark, in the YouTube comments, is there a reason that the NADGT finals are always in Austin? It's a great city with awesome courses, but why is it there every year?
Yeah, no, that's a good question, and it's something that I've asked Dave, my boss, about. I love going. Austin's like Mark said, it's a great city. The courses are phenomenal. They have a couple dozen world-class courses, just all within a stone's throw of each other. They're in Austin, so that's one reason that makes it a good city. It is in the central time zone, so geographically it works well. Another reason that it really works well is because it's a season finale event that traditionally takes place kind of over the end of October. There are only so many climates that really work well for that many players that late in the season. So that if you go to the East Coast, you kind of run into a bit of hurricane season, so that could be a little bit dicey. And you go too far north and it starts to get a little too cold. So for a number of reasons. That's why we go there every year. We did look at moving it a couple of years ago when we were down there. We'd been there for a couple of years at the time, and we're thinking, okay, well maybe we move this. But then the city of Austin came to us and said, hey, we love having you here every year. It's such a great, boon for the economy. They basically pitched us. They presented a bid that made it tough for us to move anywhere else. So it's great for us because as for as many courses as we use down there, 1,000 players, we got to use a number of courses down there. And we have so many great contacts with a lot of the local tournament directors that will step in and be a course director for us. So the infrastructure is there for us already. It makes it easier for us to go there every year, and the tournament gets smoother and bigger because of not having to change venues so much.
Yeah, makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah, and as Mark says, all good points, makes sense. Thanks for the response. One thing I wanted to address.
Good question.
Yeah, something that you had mentioned at the beginning when you first took over, when you raised it from 1 to 8 tournaments, you kind of reached out to, kind of cold calling all the tournament directors saying, hey, do you want to be part of this? Now we're in 2026 moving forward. You mentioned, we're almost up to 30 events. If a tournament director wants to get their event involved with the NADGT, are you still reaching out to tournament directors, or are you getting more people kind of reaching out to you now? And how would they go about doing it?
No, good question. So right now I'm primarily I've reached out to I don't tend to cold call a lot. I tend to send emails to tournament directors that I've either worked with in the past or have reached out asking questions. I'll kind of bring them into my loop. But yeah, for the most part, it tends to be a lot of tournament directors reaching out to me and saying, hey, I've got a tournament going on. How can I make it an NADGT event? So those events, we call those affiliate events, where it's a tournament director who already is doing their own thing. They've got their own players packs and entry fees, and they just want to provide something extra for their players. And that something extra is invitations to Texas or invitations to Canadian NADGT Nationals, or in this case, this year, the Eastern Challenge. Mm-hmm. So for those affiliate events, we work out a deal with the tournament director to find a way to have their event become an affiliate event, just like the Thunder Toss. And a lot of A tiers across the country have reached out. So this year we have Spring Runoff, we got Foxwood Open,
BC Open, I believe, too, right?
BC Open, thank you. Yeah, I'm the BC coordinator, right? Yeah, BC Open. That's the one that's and Gold Eagle Open last couple of years. They've been an NADGT event as well, and it's been a great partnership with them. So. We don't have them quite yet. There's a later season event, so we don't have confirmation on that one. But those are affiliate events. So the other events that we have are exclusive events, and those are the ones that are generally C tiers, local events, $55 entry fee, and that robust players pack that I talked about. And those are traditionally 1 day, 2 round events, but we have a couple that are 2 day events, just depending on what the tournament director would like. And then we have a handful of premier events, which are events that are a little bit bigger, entry fees a little higher, players packs are a little bit bigger. And those are events that have been running for many years and have had success. So the Gut Shot that I run in BC is one of them. The one at Homestead is another. We got a team out in Saskatoon that's running a premier event this year. And then, of course, the ones out east in Quebec, those are premier events as well as Canadian Nationals. So, yeah, those ones are the premier events are just kind of a step up, usually a step up in tier as well. They're going to be B tiers or higher, and more stuff for the players.
Regardless of the event, whether it's an exclusive, affiliate, or premier event, is the qualifying still the same? Still the 50%, 40%, or sorry, 25%, 40%?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah. We don't qualify a greater percentage of players at the premier events over the exclusives or the affiliates. It's the same percentage depending regardless of which NADGT event you participate in.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay, well, let's get
I
to
got, I got to keep things simple for me mathematically. I don't want
Exactly. Yeah.
makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, going back to Austin a bit, when we had you on the other time when we talked about your trip to Austin at that point, I believe you had played in like an elimination tournament down there. And if we're
Yeah.
remembering right, you even beat Jay Yeti Redding in that tournament, I think was your claim to fame. So did you
I
get to,
did.
yeah, did you get to do anything fun like that in this past trip to Austin?
Uh, so that one was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I'll go over that real quick for those that don't know the story. So Jay and Des Redding, they run these tournaments called the Yeti Challenge, and so the first round is a sanctioned C tier 1 round. Um, excuse me, and they take the top players from all the different divisions, and they take 19 players that play the second round. And so in the second round is a battle royale type of challenge. So all 19 players tee off on hole one together as a card of 19. You got to book the park for this, obviously.
Yeah.
You don't want to have people trying to play through a card of 19. But all 19 players play hole one, and whoever has the worst score is kicked off, and they're no longer on. They're no longer playing. So if there's a tie, which there usually is in the first bunch of holes, then on hole two, everyone who tied, they all throw first, and it becomes a CTP. So whoever is the furthest from the pin on hole two that had the worst score on hole one, they're gone.
Okay.
So,
Right.
so that was a blast. So you basically just want to play 18 holes without being the worst score on any given hole.
Yeah.
It's a game of musical chairs almost, you know. and that speaks well to my game because I have so many pars and such safe play, and I don't birdie a lot, but so long as you can par, you're usually safe in this Yeti challenge. So my game played pretty well. I played well enough in that first round to qualify for the battle royale side, and then I was hoping to maybe finish in the top half because there were really good players there, some 1,000-rated players, and Jay was in there, and 5-time world champion Des Redding is there, and Felberg was there, and all the guys who were playing MPO. I wasn't in that division. So anyways, I was hoping to finish in the top half, and as the event kept going, I was safe. We start to whittle out the guys that are in your MA2s and MA3s and some of the juniors and the ladies, and I found myself surprisingly hanging with these top players. Eventually, I got to the last hole. It was down to me and another guy, and it wasn't Yeti. I knocked him out on the second to last hole. I knocked out Felberg on the third to last hole, and they got into trouble, and I kept it clean. And anyways, I ended up getting second place. I lost on that final hole. He birdied, I parred, which is a fitting way for it to end. But
Yeah.
I didn't mind losing the Yeti challenge to this guy who was like rated 999 or something pretty good. So anyway, so we did that 2 years ago, had a blast. And then this year in Austin, we didn't have anything like that. We did that was our staff round of the Yeti challenge.
Okay.
So this year our staff round was at Sprinkle Valley. We just had a standard doubles round, pretty casual. And we had other fun things that we did throughout the week, like a glow distance competition with Gannon and Missy and a whole bunch of pros. We had the Lone Wolf Challenge, which I get to run every year, which is so much fun. Where we get a whole bunch of pros. So this year I think we had something like a dozen different pros. So Jay and Des were there, and Alden Harris and Gavin Babcock and Gannon Burr,
Okay.
and Missy was there, and Caden
Wow.
Spurge. So lots of pros, and we stationed them around a smaller kind of pitch and putt course. We put them on a hole, and they're at that hole for the entire night.
Right.
And then we played doubles, and so it's cards of 5. So you got two groups of 2, and then a single player. We call that the lone wolf. And so when a lone wolf gets to a hole where there's a pro, that pro becomes their doubles partner for that hole specifically.
Okay.
And so you'll roll up to a hole and you see Gannon waiting there, and Gannon's your doubles partner for one hole.
That's
And
awesome.
if you're part of those 4 people that are that have a partner, now you get to try and beat the world champion at disc golf for one hole.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun. It's so much fun. Yeah, the Talgo he's played in the Lone Wolf Challenge a couple of years ago, and that's one of my favorite things I get to do when I'm down there. They put me in charge of that, and I get to hang out with the pros and walk around and see everyone just having a blast playing some fun doubles, and it's a really fun format. So yeah, that was my most fun thing that I did, I think, this last year down in Texas.
Neat.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it's also really cool too, is that the pros take the time to go to that amateur event and to be part of it in Austin, and to be around and participate in that way, not just like show up, sell some discs and leave, but to actually be right involved with all the action that's going on. I love that.
Yeah, it's so much fun having them there, and it is usually it's at the end of their season. So like USDGC is done, the tour is over. So even for them too, it becomes kind of a late season, week-long vacation to sell some discs, put on some clinics, have some fun with these players, and it helps that, you know, again, in one Worlds, and so having him there now, he was there this year, we had Isaac there the last 2 years, so 3 years running we've had the current world champion at the Lone Wolf Challenge.
Sweet.
So
That's awesome.
it was so much fun, and this year the PDGA staff came down, so we got to play. Doug Bierkus came and played. With everyone for Lone Wolf, and Scott Withers, who works for the PDGA and also plays pretty well. He was one of our pros that was down. So it's just that event itself seems to grow every year as well, and it's sold out this year, and it was so much fun.
Yeah,
Cool.
That's great. Well, you mentioned earlier that, you know, a lot of the purpose behind the NADGT is giving those amateurs that are on the cusp of moving into that pro, kind of giving them a kind of a leapfrog to kind of making that final push to go to pro. I know some of the people that you've had go through, Elizra Mittling, Kyle Klein, they've both done really well and gone on to obviously on the pro tour. From the Canadian side, we've had Noah Higgins go down. Obviously, you yourself, you've been there as well. Any other notable Canadians that may have been down there?
I have a hard time putting myself and Noah Higgins in the same sentence in a lot of disc golf things, but yeah, I've gone down there. Noah has gone down there. I mentioned earlier that Stuart McIsaac was down there when it was in Arizona. One of our the only Canadian that has ever won their division down there was Jason Tay, who was our Disc Republic friend.
Yes.
So he went down. He won the MP40 division.
That's right.
3 or 4 years ago. So that was fun to hang out with him. I asked our event coordinators that were down there. I was there at the final 9, where he was the final hole. He's coming in, and I asked them. I was like, hey, if Jason wins, can I be the guy to, like, hey, Jason won? When he won, I got to be the guy to announce him as the newest NADGT MP40 champion. So
that's awesome.
So Jason, and even this last year we had a pretty decent showing from a bunch of the Canadians. We had 20 Canadians that were down there, and in FA40, Andrea Leask finished in second place.
Okay.
Right.
She did really well. She's from, I guess, your neck of the woods in the Red Deer area.
Yeah.
And that podium was kind of fun because the winner was a Bulgarian lady. That was, I'm not sure where she qualified, but she was from Bulgaria.
Yeah.
And then the Canadian got second, and then the girl in third, I think, is from Hawaii. So there were no one even from mainland America that was on the podium
right.
in FA40. And some of the other Canadians that did well, I made some notes here. In FA3, we had a Canadian that finished second. That's Janine Yuxil from, she's actually she lives in Texas, but she is from the Vancouver area.
Okay.
So she finished in second in FA3, and we had Kyle Jung was in MA3, and he finished in sixth out of like 200 people in his division.
Wow. That's
Nice.
awesome.
So pretty good showing from him. And then Angela Yu, who she won NADGT Canada Nationals just a month or two prior to going down to Texas. She finished sixth in FA3. She's from the Squamish.
Gotcha. Well, that's not
Yeah.
too shabby.
Yeah.
And I think too, is that kind of like you're really well aware of all the Canadians that are there. Do you make an attempt down in Austin to try to have a moment for them where they can all come together and, maybe have a beer together or something like that?
Yeah, I try and touch base with all of them, and the way that I do that is during registration, we have one guy that sits on the computer and checks people in as they show up to pick up their players pack or check in. Before the event starts, I have him highlight all the Canadians in red, so that whenever they show up and they give him their name, he yells down the hall to me, "Hey, Kevin, we got a Canadian." And I'm like, "Hey, good to meet you," and shake their hands, or someone I know, I might give them a hug, and every year I do try and go out of the way to provide them with an additional players pack item that something that I bring down or source when I'm down there, just as a thank you for them for making a little bit more of an effort to come down and play down there. So.
Cool. Yeah. There you go. Extra added incentive to qualify and get down there, Jeremy.
Yeah. Well, I think at this point here, after chatting about all this too, Daryl, all those extra incentives and all the different events that are going on, it's like, you got to play an NADGT event. Like, you got to add that to the list as well. Like, I've played the WJ Homestead, and even with the rain and the lightning delays that we've had, the course is amazing. Tim, the owner, is amazing there. You want to play it. They've got a top of the world shot that I still chat about. I wish I could throw it 10 times, because the 2 times I throw it in that day are never enough, because I don't do it very well.
Right.
But it's such a good shot. So you got to get into those events, and it's awesome. But I think we should maybe do a revisit with...
I was just going to say, if you're in the Edmonton area, you got 2 chances to qualify. You got the Tundra Toss, you got River City Cup. Both,
that's right.
Both NAGT, NADG. Why is that so hard to say?
NADGT.
Or is it just me?
Yeah. Just got to really put like the emphasis on the right syllables.
Exactly.
Right?
That's what it is. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I mean, we mentioned that we had you on the podcast before. Jeremy mentioned that it was back in November on the Chain Out podcast anyway. And we did a full interview with you then. And we did your Desert Island disc back then. Do you remember what you chose?
I think so. My bag doesn't change a whole lot. So even if I just had to, even if you asked me now and I hadn't remembered, I would probably give you the same discs. But my putter was my Rhino. That is my yellow Rhino that has a stencil of a silhouette of a rhino on it.
Yeah.
Had that one forever. That was my that disc has made me more money than any other disc. Yeah, that's one that would be hard to replace if I lost. So I got the Star Rhino, and then I have a San Marino rock, a USDGC rock from 2007 or 9 or something.
Right.
So it's a peach rock that I like. It's just super straight. And my driver, I think, I recall my driver was where I was a little stumped, because I do love a Wraith. But at the time, I had not yet thrown a Thunderbird, and I was excited to throw one for the next, that upcoming year. So I have since started throwing a Thunderbird. I do like it. I don't rely on it too much, just because my home course doesn't call for that shot very much. But my Wraith, I think, would probably be the one disc that I would swap out for my original question. So, yeah. Nice.
Well, I just want to interject here a little.
Sorry.
Yeah.
One disc that I really like that I don't throw, because I am Team Innova. Half a year ago, I was asked to be an ambassador for Innova, and that's a dream sponsorship for me. So my bag is all Innova. A disc that I have thrown in practice that I love is this guy right here. This is a Trash Panda Procyon.
Right.
Oh.
So the Procyon is their mold that they made. They recycled the mold, and
that's the one that you named, right?
It is, yeah. It flies very similarly to a Wraith. They had a naming contest for that disc. They said, we want something that's, fits our naming scheme, so something kind of astronomical, because all their other, the putters are inner core, and the ozone is their fairway, so something kind of beyond the ozone. So I named that disc the Procyon, and they liked it. For those that don't know that story, the Procyon is the name of the 8th brightest star in the sky, and it is also the name of the genus of mammals that the raccoons belong to. Right. And Trash Panda, their icon is the raccoon. So the fact that there's a star named after a raccoon, I felt like that was a pretty good tie. And they agreed. They named it the Procyon, and I was down in Denver this last summer with my family, just to go on a trip to a place we'd never been. And I got to tour the Trash Panda facility while they were running the prototype Procyons, and this is one that I've got here on my wall. So
That's
That
awesome.
one
Sweet.
is that's a special one. And I did throw it once. It's got some scuffs on it from my wooded course. It flew like such a dream, but which is almost frustrating knowing that I actually can't beg it. It's going to hang on the wall. But yeah, such a good disc.
Yeah, you're a man after my
I'm
own
an
heart.
I'm an Innova fan. But if you need a disc, the next best disc in the world that isn't Innova, it's probably this one right here.
Right.
There you go. I just wanted to interject and say that for people that don't know, or we did bring it up on the podcast a while ago. You mentioned the Trash Panda. I forget exactly what it's called. The Christmas,
Oh, the holiday disc swap.
the holiday disc swap that Trash Panda
No,
does every year.
the used disc swap. Yeah.
Yeah, for people that don't know, you do you sign up. You kind of get given somebody else's name. You send them at least one premium disc. Sometimes, people will add extra discs in there or extra giveaways and things like that. I got my Trash Panda box and was excited to open it. Opened it, and it was quite a big box. And I was like, this is crazy how big this box is. Opened it up, and I had a NADGT hand warmer. I had a nice handwritten note. I had a Conan Montgomery Emperor, which is in my bag. I had you mentioned about a rhino. I've got a rhino in my bag. In my Trash Panda swap, I got a San Marino rock, which is in my bag. And then the piece de resistance, which is, again, I've thrown it once, but now it hangs proudly in our studio for people that are listening to this. This is the Thunderbird, or not the Thunderbird, but you mentioned about throwing a Thunderbird. This is a Thunderbird that you so kindly dyed for us with the Chain Out logo on it. And it was so crazy that when I got it, I was like, Jeremy, you never guess what? And Jeremy was like, how does the logo look? And I'm like, what? What do you mean? And I'm like, oh, that's how you got the logo. It's because you mentioned it to Jeremy. So yeah, no, thank you very much for everything that you gifted me in my Trash Panda. I was with
pleasure.
I was with Sonia when I opened it. Sonia's in the chat, and it was her first year participating in it, and she was like, "Oh, you got all these discs and hand warmers and all the extra stuff." And then when she got it, she kind of got Scrooged a little bit. So I've helped her out since then. But yeah, that is not your typical.
Yeah,
your results may vary.
It was funny because they get thousands of people that sign up for the used disc swap, and they go out of their way to keep the Canadians giving to the other Canadians to avoid border issues and logistics. But I'm sure there's probably dozens of Canadians that sign up for this. So when I got my assignment, I saw the name. I was like, oh, I know that guy. I know that guy, and I know what he throws. I know what brand he likes.
Yeah,
so
and I should also mention. There was also, not only was all that, there was also, you'll have to help me out because I forget. I don't think it was the Procyon. It was the one with the thin to thick rim, and it was the Proto, not the 2. There's a 1 version, and I've got the 1 version.
Yeah, so they have an ET1 and an ET2.
Right.
And so the ET1, I believe, it's a disc that Trash Panda made in cooperation with Gateway. And the disc is, the rim is not the same thickness all the way around, kind of like an Aerobi Epic. I think most people are familiar with that. And so, the ET1 is more severe. It goes a lot thinner to a lot thicker than the ET2, which is a little bit more gradual. So whereas the ET1 might be, a speed, 6 to 12, and ET2 is a speed, 7 to 11.
Right.
So anyways, I think I sent you the ET1, which is one that is they made way fewer of them because they wanted to retool it, and what they ended up selling to the public was the ET2. But yeah, I sent you the ET1 because I don't know many people. I don't know if many people know that one of my best friends in the disc golf world is Kyle Harrigan, who is Kyle from Trash Panda. You'll see him in all the Trash Panda videos. He's the guy that works the machine. Yeah. He is also part of the NADGT in the States. So he does a lot of, but basically what I do in Canada, he does a lot of that in the States, as far as emailing players and issuing invitations. And if players get an invitation to Texas, you're going to be getting that email from Kyle. Trash Panda. So cool. So I see Kyle every year. It's the highlight of the trip for me is hanging out with him and another friend, Thomas. And Kyle's always happy to give gifts. So I got that gift from Kyle. I knew it wasn't something I was going to throw, but it's an interesting enough disc for me to pass on to someone who might enjoy it. So hopefully
Absolutely.
you find some use. Hopefully you find some use for it.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. It's all about giving, and getting a pack like that just makes me want to bundle up some more things to send off to the next person. So Dina in the chat says that she didn't know they kept the Canadians together, so good to know for the future. Yeah, I don't think I've ever sent a disc more than one province away. So it's always normally pretty close. So
yeah, no, that's what my experience was the previous year as well. And Dylan had also mentioned nice dye, and one of the things I noticed was, for those who don't know, this was a shaving foam dye.
Yeah.
And you know how we could tell is because not only was it looked really good, it smelled really
smells
good.
amazing. Does it
It
still smell?
it still has a bit of a scent to it, so it's almost it smells like shaving cream. It's awesome.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. That was one of the first things I did when I saw the my assignment. Is I reached out to Jeremy saying, "Hey, do you know exactly what he likes?" And he said, "Oh, actually, we did an interview recently where he gave me his Desert Island discs." So I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I went back and I watched that to see that you like the Thunderbird a lot. So so that was, I figured if I'm going to make one extra pretty, might as well make it the Thunderbird. So
Yeah.
and then Jeremy hooked me up with a high quality, high res image of the logo that I could use for the for the die.
I really appreciate it. I love it. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Thunderbird is for so much so that I had to pick up one disc for a one disc round during our summer league, and the Thunderbird was that one disc. So
Yeah.
Just getting back on topic of the Desert Island disc, we got your disc from last year. I don't think it was a thing when we did it last year. We used to ask people that there are 3 discs, but then we would kind of throw a surprise on them and say, when you get to this island, if you could transport one course that you've either played, it might be on your bucket list, but it's going to be the one course that you get to play with those 3 discs, which course would you transport to the island? I don't think we asked you that. So which have you got have a course in mind that maybe you might want to play for until you get rescued?
You feel like I feel like I should be better prepared for this question. Being that I watched the show, I would say so. I've got a couple answers. I'm going to be really really dumb about this and give you a couple options or a
Sure.
couple answers. But for the longest time, my favorite course, and the thing is, I've only played it once, and I played it pretty early on in my disc golf career. If you look at my PDGA page for events, my very first sanctioned event was in 2013, I think. I checked the disc on the wall, 2013, in Estacada, Oregon, at Milo McIver Park.
Oh, okay.
And so
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty popular course. I think it's well known on the Pro Tour. They would host the Beaver State Fling there, Portland Open. It's a beautiful set of courses. Actually, 2 courses, and they're phenomenal and gorgeous and long and challenging and tight at some parts of the course. It's been my favorite course for the longest time, and I haven't been able to get back to it. So that one is, maybe there was just a sense of romanticism to it, just being so new to the game at the time when I played it, and having it be so tough for me, because I was an 800 something rated player. So that one holds a special place in my heart. I mean, of course, the one in Elkford that I designed, I'm super proud of that, and I play it all the time in the summer, and so it's one of those courses I could probably play all the time and never get bored of it. I'm quite proud of that one, just because it's in the middle of nowhere. It's it doesn't get a whole lot of volume, but seeing the UDisc ratings come in for it, as generous as people have been when they're rating, that makes me feel nice. When I made the course, people said, "Oh, it's a really nice course," and I wasn't sure if they were just saying that just because they were talking to me and I was the guy that made it and they knew that. But seeing people on UDisc rate it, one of the highest in the region next to Wycliffe.
Okay.
That's, I'm pretty proud of that. So yeah, between Milo McIver and the Dearborn course, I think those would be the 2 I might have on my desert island.
Well, we've seen that happen before, where we've had people split the course and they've done 9 holes from one course and 9 to another from another. We've also heard of just bringing an excavator for the designers who like to design their own courses.
We're pretty lax on these questions.
Yeah, that's right. For sure.
Yeah. Well, and the thing with, if I pick Malin McIver, I get 2 courses out of that one, right?
Oh, that's true.
2,
yeah.
It's like if you picked Sundry, you get 2 pretty good
Aspen
courses.
Meadows East and West.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that kind of brings us, Kevin, to the end of all the questions that we had for you for tonight. But we'd always like to make sure when we bring it to the end to give you some time. 1, if there's anything you want to shout out, but 2, if there's anything we missed that you wanted to highlight, this would be the time to do it.
Sure. Yeah, I appreciate that. I know that this conversation is more an NADGT conversation. So, I mean, obviously, I would encourage anyone to go to nadgt.com or visit the tag there that's up on the screen right now. Just to go to disc golf scene and look up NADGT events. We've got them from BC to Whitehorse to Newfoundland and everywhere in between this year. So we'd love to see at any of those events, even if you don't plan on getting out to NADGT Canada Nationals, which I don't think I even mentioned is in Battleford, Saskatchewan this year.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't plan on going to that one, or if you don't plan on going to the Eastern Challenge, we make sure that we put on high quality events, even if they're just standalone events for you. So I've got a couple of sponsors I could shout out. Team Innova.
Yeah.
So stoked to be on Team Innova again for this year. So thanks to John and his team at Innova Canada for putting the wings on my back. And then I've got a Low Putt Disc Golf is a shop out of Texas. A friend of mine runs the shop. He wanted to sponsor me. Thanks, Thomas.
Nice.
And my new sponsor for this year is Ching. Probably most Canadians aren't familiar with Ching, but it's spelled TJING, and they are an app that can handle scorekeeping and event creation. So it's almost as if you were to put DG Scene and PDGA Live and UDisc all in one house. Ching handles that. So I know in Lethbridge, their putting league, they chose to run Ching this year because whatever issue or whatever they were having before was giving them issues. They tried Ching. They love it. So if you're looking for a new way to keep score or run events, give Ching a try.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's a new one. I hadn't heard of that. So I'll definitely be checking it out for sure.
Cool.
Yeah. No, that's perfect.
Yeah, they're based out of Sweden. So a lot of their events that they have, their Ching events, or you're going to find them in Europe. They have a pretty good stronghold out or a foothold out that way, and they're looking to grow in North America. They're a big sponsor of the NADGT Nationals down in Austin every year. Our side events are usually run through Ching, and the guys come down from Sweden, and they're just such a blast to hang out with. They're tech nerds and disc golfers, and they speak my language because I'm a little bit of both of those too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that looks cool. We got it up on the screen right now, and just check out that website.
Ching.se if you want to go to the website.
Oh, that'd be that Sweden part.
There we go.
Kicking in there.
That's it.
That's right. Yes.
Well, that's fantastic, Evan. Well, I'll be working on getting my qualifying done this weekend at Tundra Toss. So all I got to do is hopefully just make sure I get through the tournament.
Yeah, and finish in the top 40%.
Yeah.
25%, sorry.
Yes, we'll work on that. We'll do our best. But we got some good MA40s out here in Edmonton, but we'll see what I could do.
Well, you'll be okay because I'm caddying this weekend.
I was saying top 25% to get to Texas, but even if you just get to the end of the tournament, we'll invite you to Canadian NADGT Nationals in Battleford.
There, yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
There you go.
Well, thanks, Kevin. We appreciate it. And if there is anything else that comes up through the year that you want us to help you shout out, just let us know. We're always happy to give you some time for top of show there, and I can put it in there.
Awesome. I appreciate that, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Okay. Thanks for joining. We'll speak to you soon.
All right. Yeah. Have a good night.
Thanks, Kevin.
Yeah. Well, Daryl?
Yeah.
Kevin's always great to chat with.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. I remember you, I can't remember. I think you met him the first time was at WJ.
Yeah.
And then,
a couple of years ago.
Yeah. And then we met him down at Lethbridge once. He was in the tent at Tournament Central with Rebecca and Noah there, and you kind of met him there.
Yeah.
And then we
Those
met
are
him
the
out
early
on
days when we were
that
just
was-
trying to, who
yeah.
are we going to get on this podcast? Is anyone going to want to come and chat with us back in those days?
Yeah, that was very on in the early days. And then obviously we met him the second year we went down to Lethbridge because he was marshalling on one of the holes, one of the island, not the island hole,
The
but
hole before the island.
yeah,
hole.
yeah, exactly. So
Which also has some very dangerous water.
yeah, it can have, yeah, absolutely. Blind
Tee shot.
a blind tee green. That's
Yeah.
the word I'm looking for. Blind green from the tee. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Words
we've
are
run
hard.
into him a number of times. And of course, just crossing paths again with you with the used Trash Panda used disc swap. So we're always crossing paths, and it's always a pleasant experience.
That's the good thing about this disc golf community is that, someone knows somebody somewhere and our paths are going to cross.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm likely, you know what? I won't say I'm a glutton for punishment when it comes to the weather side of it.
Yeah.
But I do love that WJ Homestead course. I got to get you down there one of these times because it's great to be at a 1-day tournament, like a 2-round 1-day. Especially when you're trying to make the most of your summer and your weekends and that, it's good to get the big tournaments in, and these are still big quality tournaments, but in 1 day.
Right.
So it's great to do it that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So also, Daryl, as we wrap up to the end of this, you used to complain all the time. You'd be like, Jeremy, you didn't put it in the outline. We forgot to say it. We don't ever do that. But it's right here, man.
It's right
here. It's the secret word.
Yeah, this is where we like to get the chat involved as well. We like to think about, let's put out a secret word. People that have listened or watched on YouTube, if you've watched this long, if you're not watching live, if you're watching after the event,
Or
make
listening
sure,
on
or
an
listening.
audio podcast.
Yeah, you can go and put it in on Spotify as well, on Apple. Something about that. While we're waiting, if you have a secret word chat, let us know. We'll put it out there for discussion. One thing that we don't mention anymore, we used to mention this a long time ago, but if you do listen to the podcast, if you're not a YouTube watcher, if you're a Spotify listener, don't forget to rate us 5 stars and leave comments on Spotify because we do see those as well, and that also helps us out.
Yeah.
And I would just like to address something as well, that we're having a little bit of an issue right now with Apple Podcasts. So if you used to watch us or listen to us on Apple, you've probably noticed that a lot of the episodes have disappeared and there is no new ones for quite a while. If you've left Apple and gone to Spotify or come over to YouTube to watch us, that's fine. We are working to get it back, and as soon as it comes back, hopefully all the back catalog will be there as well.
Yeah, and you'll be able to jump right back on there, and we appreciate you supporting there. We get about half of the people who check out the podcast are listening to us on the audio platforms. The other half are watching us and checking us out on Facebook and YouTube. So be sure, if you haven't subscribed to any of those platforms, make sure you do. Put those comments in there. It really helps to drive traffic and show that, hey, you're interested in what we're putting out, and we can put out more of it. The more people that are in here, we get more giveaways, all those wonderful things.
Exactly.
And then if you've done all of that and you want to support us more, head on over to Patreon. Join up on there. You can join at any level, including free. If you join at one of the paid levels, it gets you in to the draws for free. So it's essentially getting 2 entries into our draws and our giveaways, because you can do one the way we advertise and the other one's automatic for being part of Patreon. And when you're over there tonight, checking that out, check out the free link for Around the Basket, because we're going to get on and talk even more disc golf. We're going to talk about whether we're excited or not about the Disc Golf Pro Tour starting and some of the events maybe that we're looking forward to watching this year. And also, too, I'm doing Tundra Toss. Daryl said he wants to be a caddy. He's a great caddy, but I want you guys to also be a caddy for me. Help me out. Tell me what you think you would throw on a snowy day at a course. Give you an idea of some of the holes as we talk about it. So join us over there. We'd love to interact with the Around the Basket crew when you jump on there. And I think, Daryl, that's what I got. Do we got a secret word after all of that conversation?
We do. Kevin just wants to give a shout out to his 4 kids that left him alone for the whole episode. So
yeah,
and his wife is a saint. So
it's true. It's a great family there supporting Kevin.
Absolutely.
And we appreciate having an hour of his time tonight.
Got to give them the shout out as well. Sonia says Austin, Battleford.
Idea?
Idea. That's an in joke. I don't know why that became popular. Yeah, that's a Daryl English word. What was the I wanted
the Yeti challenge?
Yeah, there was something he said. during that. Or you know what? Why don't we? You know what I like? 1,000 rated.
1,000 rated. Oh yeah, that's
Because
his goal for
that's
the
his
year.
goal for the year is 1,000 rated.
1,000 rated. Use 1,000 rated, and it doesn't have to be with relation to disc golf. What would you like to be 1,000 rated at?
Oh, there you go. That's awesome. Put that. Let us know in the comments what you would like to be 1,000 rated at, other than disc golf.
Other than disc golf, if anything else in
I think
the
Kevin would
world
say his
was-
wife is 1,000 rated.
Oh yeah, well probably 2,000. I
Well,
think.
there you
Yeah. So yeah, let's do that. That'll be it. Put something in the comments there. Make it fun. Make it funny. We'll try to give you some good responses as well, and we appreciate you being in it with us right to the end. 1,100.
1,100.
Okay. 2,000. She'd see right through it. 1,100. She'd know it was legit.
Yeah.
Well, Daryl.
Mark said he had 2 988 rated rounds as well, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
you
Mark
know,
did the research.
I've been looking as well
Is
with that.
there an opening?
Maybe. But I've been looking as well, and it seems like there's certain rating marks for either round ratings or for people's ratings that people get at. And they kind of,
Right.
like, there's a lot of them. Like, I was looking at people qualified for TCO in my division,
Yeah.
and there was like 4 that were 929. Like, why
Right.
929?
Right.
Not 928, not 930,
Yeah.
929.
And there's a multiple of that rating.
Yeah,
so yeah.
must be like a stumbling block or a common place people end up at. So 988 could be for round ratings.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Shall we wrap this
We'll
thing
see
up?
you.
Oh no. You don't get to just leave. Not when I've got another one of our wonderful rhymes that I've heard people stick to the end, not just for the secret word.
That's what
not
I've
just
heard.
for our wonderful guest.
Yeah.
They want to hear the two of us make fools of ourselves
Yeah.
with these.
They didn't want to hear the rhyme. They just want to hear us.
They want to hear that, get the beatbox going and everything.
You know
else.
what? I'm going to do that one year. I'm going to bring up 1 year, one episode. I'm going to queue up a beat
Oh,
so that we can do it to a. No, that's going too far. I know.
No, I like it.
All
Do
right.
it. We'll do it.
All right. Are we ready? Thanks, everybody, for listening if you've made it this far. And we'd like to say, from Elkford, BC to the nationwide grind,
We kicked it with Kevin King. He's one of a kind.
grassroots dreams with a tour that's legit.
That's NADGT, built brick by brick.
From Redcliffe heat to Whitehorse cold.
Opportunities rising for the stories untold.
Premier stops, affiliates, nationals on deck.
If you want that next step, this is how you connect.
Spring's around the corner, the chains are gonna sing.
Registrations poppin', ring a ding ding.
So like, comment, sub. Yeah, help us out.
Around the basket's next, but first you shout,
Chain out. Oh my goodness, Jeremy. Thanks, everybody. We'll catch you later. We'll see you on Patreon.